Well, I had an interesting day. I had an interesting day. So I just realized that it seems like I'm a little bit of what's it called? Okay. It seems like I'm a little bit sorry, just one sec. All right. So it seems like I'm a bit of I get to hear how your day went, and then I never get to share how my day went. And if the live show is actually a conversation, then I really should be able to share my day, share my experience also. All right. So yeah, I had a great day. I had a productive day. It was quite a lot. Slept late, woke up early, but it was a great day. It was a very beautiful day. So yeah, let us know how your day went in the comment section, and also let us know where you are watching from. All right, very important. Let us know where you're watching from, and then ultimately, please do well to share the live video. All right, do well to share the live video. This is R for M Studios, and this is that very platform, Ready for Marriage, the very platform where we get you ready, for that ultimate person you would like to spend the rest of your life with. All right. Also, we get to share a whole wealth of experience, ideas, knowledge, and all of that. All right. So we started on a very interesting topic last night, and we had people engage, and it was quite interesting. Today I'm really hoping that we get a lot more people get to engage and share their experiences with us. That would really go a very long way. All right, before we go into what we have for tonight, we've been running the photo contest for those of you who don't know, and it's been competitive. Yes, it has been competitive, and we've had phases of eviction, and now we have people who have scaled through the eviction phase, actually in a closed group. All right, they're in a closed group, and now we're really hoping to see who the winner is going to be. All right, and then the winner is dependent on how you push. It's dependent on how you push, how you get your family members to get to vote for you, follow us on all our social media platforms. Very, very important. All right. So yeah, yesterday we were looking at a very interesting topic, and I felt um, like there was a whole lot more to still talk about. There was a whole lot more to still talk about, and we thought we should give, stretch it a little bit and get to learn a lot more tonight. So we have dealing with rejection part two. Right, dealing with rejection part two, and almost everyone has faced rejection, even if it's not a romantic relationship. You've felt rejection at some point of your life, and one of the things that stood out yesterday is the fact that rejection is a part of life. Okay, rejection is a part of life. Rejection is a part of life. All right. So tonight we're going to be looking at dealing how to handle rejection again. So if something is a part of life, if there's something that you can't exactly escape for the whole of your life, then it simply means that it is wisdom that you spend time to learn how to go about it, how to handle it, how to deal with it. All right. So that's one of the reasons why we're looking at this. And we've had people, take their life. People who have taken their life from rejection. Okay, so rejection is a big deal. Rejection is a big deal. If you what's the word now? If you're able to, if you feel you can really manage it so well, you can manage rejection. I can bet you there's a whole lot of people out there who can't. All right. So this topic is extremely important. So I'm here on Facebook first off before I go to YouTube. So on Facebook we have the very first person online. The very first person online is none other but Paul Tolorunju. Paul Tolorunju. Paul, these your two besties. They reached out to me, and they said they don't marry Yoruba. So now I'm confused. I don't know who is lying to who. Are you the one lying to these your two besties? Because your two besties says they love you, but the both of them said they don't want to marry Yoruba. So what are they doing with you? Please. Okay. All right, Paul Tolorunju. Shut the jam. Sorry, forgive me for murdering your name. Paul Tolorunju, it's good to have you online. Good evening. Okay, so Paul Tolorunju says this is his very first time watching from Kaduna. All right, and for first timers, we have a gift for you, and I'm personally going to be gifting you lollipop. Yes, that's going to be your gift. Lollipop. Lollipop, Paul Tolorunju. All right. So, yeah, it's really good to have you online, Paul Tolorunju. Um, all right. So, I'm sure we're going to have a lot more people get to join us as we make progress. All right. Let's journey. Let's journey. Let's journey. Let's journey. Let's journey. Let's journey down to YouTube. Let's journey down to YouTube. Let's journey down to YouTube. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have two people already online on YouTube. We have the very first, and it's none other but Jerry Aboki. Jerry Aboki is saying a very pleasant good evening to you all. And Jerry Aboki also is saying, how you all doing? How you all doing? Yeah, Jerry Aboki, how you doing? How you doing this evening? Also, we have my very own person. Baba, you be woman, you be man, but definitely from the way you respond, you're definitely a man. I just don't still know if you're a community or you're a person. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we have one of the names that I love to always call on the Alpha M late night show is none other but Ideas Hub 360. Amazing, intelligent community or human being, because it's a hub. One person, we don't know. All right, so Ideas Hub 360 says hello, good evening, hi Ideas Hub, how you doing? Hope you had a great day. Hope you had everything done that you planned before the day began. Hope you really aren't stressed from having to achieve the things that you needed to achieve. All right, so tonight we have the part two. All right, we have the part two of how to deal with rejection. All right, so please do well to send in your thoughts. Ideas Hub was really saying beautiful things yesterday, and one of the things he said was that rejection is a part of life, very important. And just to have a very quick recap for those who weren't around, who didn't get to join the live yesterday, I said the first of in for you to be able to deal with rejection, you first of all need to understand that you can't afford to live in denial. You can't afford to live in denial. Very important. You can't afford to live in denial. You can't afford to live in denial, because when you live in denial, you just elongate your healing process. But the earlier you accept, you come to terms with the fact that, hey, this person I'm in a relationship with has called it off for whatever reason it is, the earlier you embrace that feeling, the faster your healing will be. All right, so we talked about that. We also looked at the fact that we had a comment from Kilti Chindo yesterday also said that in you dealing with rejection, you have to engage. I love that word, very militant word. You have to engage in self-care. Okay, you have to engage in self-care. So you see people go through heartbreak and suddenly they know they bath. Suddenly they know they chop food. They just lie in bed and they cry all day, So I've real life experience. I've had someone, I know someone, a friend of a friend. I know someone who, for about 2 days, I just had a burden for her, and we're not so much of, we're not exactly friends, right? So, but I just had a burden about her, and so one of the days I decided I was going to reach out, and I chatted with her, and she just kept asking me, who told you? Who told you? What's going on? Who told you? Who told you? Madam, who told me what? She's like, no, tell me first. I was like, how will I tell you what I don't know? She's like, who told you? I say, told me what? She's like, you tell me first who told you. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. So she goes on to tell me that so she has this guy, yada yada yada, gotten pregnant, yada yada yada, whole lot in his house and all that, but now she's confused. She hasn't been eating. Her tummy is biting her, but she's taking a whole lot of alcohol. Okay, she's taking alcohol. She's high. I think she said 2 or 3 days she had not had her bath. All right, And then she locked the door. Nobody comes in, nobody goes out. So she's just there, she's crying. So what's my point is, people deal with rejection differently. So this guy, she's been with him, and she's already envisioning marriage. He has proposed and all that, and then wakes up for no reason and says, we're not doing this anymore. Why? I just don't feel like. Okay, which leads me to a very important thing, that you see, relationship is a big deal. Emotions is a big deal. Emotions isn't just for women. Every human being has emotion. It's just that every human being expresses emotion differently. So when you're dealing with someone's emotion, when you're going to a relationship, it's a very, very big deal. All right, it's a very, very big deal. And as much as there are past traumas, right? As much as there are past traumas, I I don't really fault people who are scared of commitment, but I will fault them when they actually begin to lead someone on and they know they are not ready for commitment. I think the word is gamophobia, right? I think it's gamophobia, the fear of commitment. So you were scared, of commitment. Sometimes, many times, it's just the fear of rejection playing out. So you like this person, but you're scared to ask the person out, or you're already in a relationship, you ask the person out, you guys are dating, but then you're scared of taking it to the next level because, I mean, you were just at the verge of getting married, and then this person breaks your heart, and you're scared that same thing might just happen to you. So either way, we don't live our lives based on fear. All right, we go ahead and we do what we need to do when we need to do what we need to do. So please let us know in the comment section if you've had an experience and how you dealt with rejection. Okay, let us know how you dealt with rejection. Earlier on today, I got to share my personal story on one of our podcasts, and I talked about how I dealt with rejection. And I was saying that I can deal with a lady telling me that you're not my spec. Okay, I can live with that. I can live with that. Trust me. I can live with a lady telling me you're not good enough. And the reason why I can live with that is because I know I'm good enough. All right. But you see, it's a totally different ballgame when a lady tells me, but I see you like my brother. Ah, you have finished me. You have just finished me. That family zoning thing, it doesn't work for me. Okay, it hurts. It hurts. So I was sharing earlier on today, and I was talking about how I how I had this friend who, now this friend, I met her where it was a camp meeting, right? It was a camp meeting, and so I met this friend, and she, how do I put this now? So I wasn't sure what to expect, right? On a norm, I'm a very confident person, but I didn't know what to expect. She just had a straight face. You don't know what emotion, what thought is going through her mind. So what I did was, I went to my ex. My ex was in the same camp with me. So I went to my ex, who happens to still be my friend, even though we've not spoken in a while. So I went to my ex and I'm like, Omo, there's this babe who I've been eyeing her for like 2 days on this camp. How far now? Can you help me? So I go do like say I dey escort you. Then you go do like say you want be her friend. You understand? And that was how it played out. So we approached her. So if she was sitting alone, it would have been easier for me. But she's always with this clique of friends. There are like 7, 8 of them. So my friend, my ex and myself, very interesting story. How does your ex escort you to go and toast a new girl? Anyway, so Chronicles of Prolific. So we walk up to this girl, my friend is just talking, engages her, and then finally we see a smile. Wow, she did smile, She engages her, and then she's like, oh, sorry, I forgot to introduce you. This is my friend Prolific, and then I just acted like I escorted. But actually, now me be the main person we want to talk to the babe. And then from there, I continued the conversation, and it was beautiful. She's an amazing person today. She's married with, I think, 3 or 4 kids, and she's doing well. But we got so close because as you keep spending time with someone, you would definitely, you most likely, not definitely, you most likely, have feelings for the person. And so when it was time, brethren and sistren, Auntie now told me, bro, you're a very nice guy, you're very, but I see you like my brother. The thing pain me. Now she was now liking somebody else that was not liking her. She was liking someone that's not giving her face. Me, I'm giving you face, liking you. You're not sending me. You're now sending somebody that is not sending you. Life happens, right? So, but that rejection it really hit me hard. It really hits me hard because I don't know if this works for a lot of guys, but I think there are guys that can actually relate to this. I don't know if it works for everyone, but there are guys that just see a lady. Some guys see a lady, they can't imagine her as just a girlfriend. They just see a wife. Like, they're like, this is what I've been looking for. I'm wifing this babe. Or they see others, they're not so sure, so they'll be like, this guy na girlfriend material. Let's see how it goes. And then there are other people some guys see, they don't see a wife, they don't see a girlfriend. They just see someone who they can have a one night stand with. It happens, right? So this girl was one of those people who I couldn't figure out. I couldn't picture her as just a girlfriend. I just saw a wife. And she was just full of so much intrigue that made me want to know her the more. All right. So, but I dealt with that rejection. At first, honestly, I won't lie to you guys. At first, I lived in denial. I tried to get a whole lot of distractions. But, most of us make that mistake where we try to get distractions without addressing the problem. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't, because that pain is waiting for you ahead. When you're done with the distractions, it's still going to show up. And that's the same thing with alcohol. When you I hear people say they want to drink away their sorrows. You really don't drink away your sorrows. It's like sedating a person. All right, you're feeling pain and they sedate you. What happens is that sedation just makes you sleep. When you wake up, you're waking you're waking up inside pain. You're going to wake up in pain, right? So the pain is there, it's waiting for you. You just got a temporary distraction. All right. So we have a question here on YouTube. Okay, so this question is from Jerry Aboki, and his question is, how best can one handle family rejection? This one's strong. How best can one handle family rejection? Remember that you can share your experience also, and this is not limited to romantic relationships, okay? It's not limited to romantic relationships, so please do well to also share. So, how do you handle family rejection? I'll put it this way. Love is stronger than death. See the death. Baba, all of us, they fear death. I know, I'm saying that contextually because there are people who don't fear death. And what they mean is that there is hope, there is life after this life, all right? So you're not going to eternal damnation, all right? So I get that. So because you're not going to go into eternal damnation, you have hope. Why should I be scared of death, right? So in fact, I'm moving on to a better place where there's no pain, no tear. So, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the death that makes you, because if you say you don't fear death, why be say you look road before you cross? Why they just enter road, make motor jam you if you know they fear death or pain, right? So, but love is stronger than death. You see that death that you are scared of, love is more powerful than death. Now, how do I handle family rejection? First off, I must quickly say that it is not that simple. It's not that simple. One of the reasons why people have stopped listening to certain people is because when certain people give tips or whatever you want to call it, they make it sound like it's so easy. But life is dynamic. Life is dynamic. And I'm careful also because what works for Mr. A wouldn't work for Mr. D. All right. So life is dynamic, and there's no straight jacketed answer, right? But again, I'm saying love is powerful, more powerful than death. And this is what I mean. That you can't love a person consistently that will not be uncomfortable and reciprocate it. Check it. Even people who are not verbally expressive, right? Even, I mean, you find that in Africa, but it's changing. It's changing with the recent fathers we have now. But the parents of millennials, let me start from millennials. You will find out that most fathers, not all fathers, most fathers had a problem with being verbally expressive in loving their children or loving their spouse. They feel saying I love you makes you a weak man. All right? They feel it makes you a weak man. So, come on now. So they feel it makes you a weak man. But things are changing, right? There is no way I love a person that the person gets to a point where they become uncomfortable. They will advise themselves by themselves. Why am I treating my sibling or my spouse so poorly, and yet my spouse or my sibling is not reciprocating the same animosity that I'm showing? So how do I deal with family rejection? Basic, love them. Love them. But let me qualify love them again. You see, you must understand the phase that you're in. You don't see loving people, right? Loving people. Sorry, just one sec. Loving people. Okay. Okay. Just a minute. All right, mic check. We good? All right. Sorry, we had an audio challenge. Okay, so Jerry Abuki asked a question which I was responding to, and I said love is stronger than death. The very death that everybody is scared of, love is stronger than death. All right, love is stronger than death, and I said that when you love people consistently, when you show love, people get uncomfortable in a good way. They are under the pressure to reciprocate that love. Do you understand? They're under the pressure to reciprocate that love. So, how do I put this? You really can't correct wrong with wrong. You correct wrong with right. All right? You correct wrong with right. So, you correct wrong with right. You keep heaping coals of fire using love. That is the only way. And I was going to say something very important. See, loving a person, understand where you are per time. Loving a person doesn't necessarily mean you have to keep proximity. Very important. Because there are people you need to love from afar. Especially people who demean you, people who talk down on you. Okay? People who talk down on you, you can love such people, but love them from afar. Why do you have to love them from afar? You love them from afar because you owe yourself the responsibility to protect your heart. Okay, you have to protect your heart. So let me give you an instance of what I mean by loving people from afar. So if you're somebody who loves to make calls, you enjoy calls, you love to hear the voice of your loved ones, right? But this your sibling or your spouse in your family always talks you down. For instance, let's just use that as one of the examples. If they always talk you down, you can keep loving that person without necessarily keeping proximity. So, what I mean by that is, if you love to call, it just means that you might now have to start sending text messages. That way, you still keep the bond of unity, but you are not necessarily in the person's space. Because every time you're in the person's space, it's toxic. You either quarrel Or if you don't quarrel, you suck up, they say something nasty to you, you keep quiet, it's toxin. You're dying on the inside. You're not bringing it out. You're not expressing or explaining anything to the person. You're dying on the inside because you are seeing the person or you're in that space. So if you are living apart, you can do text messages. When you do those text messages, you are the person, you keep popping up on the screen, right? It gives a sense that this person is not repaying evil for evil. Yeah, it's not repaying evil for evil. I can bet you if you're consistent with that, over time, that person is going to break. Now, if it happens to be that that person or you are in the same space, okay, you are in the same space, there's something called being assertive, okay? So I can choose to be assertive and not aggressive. What's the difference? To be assertive means that you stand your ground. You are firm, that's the word. You are firm, you state what you're not comfortable with without being aggressive. In aggression, sometimes you even miss the point of what you are fighting for. And you start digging up things that don't even relate to what is going on at the moment. But in you being assertive, you are not necessarily aggressive, but at the same time, you are not backing down for the person. You're just firm. You're calm, but you're firm. And you're telling the person, hey, on a norm, you don't enjoy when people shout at you, right? But have you considered the fact that every time you want to say something, you're always shouting at me? I really don't appreciate it. Could you find a way to balance it? To say what you're not comfortable with without screaming at me? Do you get? When you sound that way, it tells the person that you are hurt. You can return the energy, but you are choosing not to. You rather be firm, be calm, and not aggressive, and still state your points clearly. Okay, so understand the phase where you are. If you guys are living apart, if you are siblings and you live in different states, understand where you are. Understand and ask yourself, can I deal with seeing this person? And I must say quickly, in rejection, the point where you cannot stand somebody's presence, that's deep-seated bitterness. And I can bet you that bitterness is one of the reasons why certain prayers are not even answered. Okay? Bitterness is like clogged gutter. You've seen those drainages that when it rains, you see water or you see the gutter flowing. Bitterness is like clogged gutter. When a gutter is clogged, right? When a drainage is clogged, what happens? You begin to have mosquitoes begin to breed there. You see all the sugar cane where school children trek, chop through inside that gutter. You go see pure water sachet, you go see bitter, you go see debino seed. Everything is in that clogged gutter. And it begins to smell. And it becomes a home for mosquitoes. That is what bitterness is like. Bitterness has the power to attract negativity into your life. And love has the power to repel negativity from your life. The favor that you wake up and you ask God, God, as they go market today, bring customers, make I get favor, yada, yada, yada. Those things don't come. See, some things you don't even need to ask God though. Some things is just about life's principles. If you do this, you will get this. Simple. Okay? So love, just love them. You can't beat love. The same way nobody on earth can escape death. It was Two-Face that sang my guy because he don't nobody want pie but they want go heaven, right? Nobody want pie but they want go heaven. It doesn't work except with rapture. Yeah. All right. So I hope that question was answered. So Jerry Abuki goes on to say, what do you think is the nice response to give a lady that has rejected a man in terms of relationship? What do you think is a nice response to give a... Oh, you don't need to even think of a response. Oh, thank you. That's all. I'm telling you, a lady rejects you, you like the girl, you ask her out. Now, before I go there, let me say this. Psychologically, you would know, especially if the lady is your friend, you would know if the lady, right, is okay. So just 1 minute. Whoa. Okay, okay. Sorry. Sound challenges, all right? Okay, are we good? All right, sound challenge. Sorry about that. So, psychologically, so Jerabuk is asking, what do you do? What's the nicest response to give a lady who has rejected you from after you toast? Omo, there's no need for paragraph. Oh, okay, thank you. You don't feel the same way. You don't like me. I'm not your spec. Oh, all right, okay. Thank you. Thank you for granting me audience. That's the gentlemanly thing to do, right? That's the gentlemanly thing to do. But there are also contexts. You see, I'm very careful to just give answers. Life, you must understand context. You must understand context. It was this morning I was watching Dr. Karis, and I loved it. It was a reel, actually. It was a reel I watched on Facebook. And Dr. Karis was talking about greet each other with a holy kiss. And I think that's in Romans 16:16. He says, greet each other with a holy kiss. And then he now said, you see, some zealous people now will now say, that's what the Bible said. The Bible said, greet each other with a holy kiss. So as we finish church now, let's start kissing each other. He said, no. You must understand that certain things were written within context, within certain cultures, within certain dispensations. All right. So there was a dispensation that, in fact, not just even about dispensation. Culturally speaking, the Middle East, kiss, peck is culture. Is a normal thing. The same way a Yoruba person, you don't go to a Yoruba land and you dobale for an elderly person and it's strange. And the person is saying, what's the meaning of this? Have you come to hurt me? No, it's normal. It's a sign of respect, right? So in the Middle East, a kiss, a peck is normal. It's filial, okay? It's a filial love, all right? It's filial. It's not eros. It's filial. Filial is friendship love. All right. Eros is sexual love. Agape is the God kind of love. All right. So filial love for them is, so you see, you don't now interpret it verbatim back to back and now say, let's be doing it now in Nigeria. When we close for my brother. You see, because culturally that's not how we operate. All right. So when a lady turns you down, as a gentleman, just tell her thank you. Thank you for your audience. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you. Now, if she's your friend and you guys have related for a while, all right, and you know this your friend to an extent, you will be able to know if you should push. Why? Why do I say so? Because sometimes ladies want to be sure. Ladies, I don't know any lady who doesn't like a confident man. Because when a lady sees a confident man, she also sees a man who can protect her. She also sees a man who can defend her. She also sees a man who can articulate his vision for his family. So she might even like you more than you like her. But if you're not confident in communicating, or sometimes it's not even confidence, other times it could also be that you are not clear. You're not giving her a clear-cut picture of where you intend your relationship with her to go. She'll bounce you. She probably loves you more than you love her. Don't forget that. But you see, women, is a hard truth. Some people might not agree, but it's a hard truth. Women marry for security, not primarily love. Women marry for security. Okay? So, and that explains how you see, please, you guys don't come for me. I'm just saying this from observation. And if you're going to be honest, you will agree that this is the truth. You will see a lot more first off, there's nobody that's ugly, all right? I don't believe in war. There's no war. Now just packaging, money, polish, do small sandpaper, and you go do all right. All right, so you will find out that you will hear people on social media, you have more, in quotes, you have more ugly men marrying very pretty women than you have ugly women marrying very handsome men. Again, I don't believe anyone is ugly, all right? So, but please get the context of what I'm trying to say. So, why does that happen? It's simple. A man will say, I want to wake up and see fine face. And a man is marrying and he's thinking in the long run. He's thinking about his children. He's thinking, who will teach my children? The wife is thinking, I need security. I suffer from my papa house. I no can't suffer again with man, no. I beg, God, I beg. I want a man who is stable. Not necessarily a man who has millions, but just a man who is stable and communicates his vision clearly. So they feel secured and they say yes to him. So sometimes the lady, what I'm saying is you must be discerning to know psychologically. Do I think this lady really likes me? And please don't assume. Don't tell yourself she likes you when she's giving you red signal. Okay? But if you think she's giving you a little bit of green light, push a little more. Sometimes ladies need you to push a little more because they just want to be sure. And sometimes you're asking them out at a point where they have 4 other people asking them out. So they're a little bit confused and they're sitting back, they're watching who is going to push, who really wants me. Then I will say yes to the person. Okay, so there are a lot of dynamics that has played behind the scene that you can't see and she's not telling you. But you on your own part, you're the one who knows this person. So you should know when to push and you should know when to have self-respect and stop when she says stop. And just say, thank you. You don't have to, you see, I see this also on social media where people are in a relationship, then they break up, then they begin to guilt trip each other. Or they begin to say, my ex broke up with me. If only they knew. No, that's childish. And I want to also quickly say this. If you're a lady and you like a guy, right, you can't get all the answers in one day. Sometimes you need to walk to get clarity. And to back this up, I hold on to this. This is a personal revelation for me that I use in my life. I use it for projects, not just spiritual things or romantic things, everything about my life. And what is it? David said, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. He didn't say it will lead me. He said it will follow me. What does that mean? It means that when I get up and I move, I won't move alone. That God loves me too much that he will not leave me in error. God loves me too much, he will not send me to the wrong person. Okay, so goodness and mercy, surely goodness and mercy will follow me. Let me leave it at that, all right? So we have a comment from Ideas Hub. Okay, so Ideas Hub, you are definitely a man. Woman know they talk like this. So Ideas Hub says, it's high time we start taking rejection as a normal thing. Imagine you getting a yes at your first try. Then you will miss a lot. You won't learn anything and it's boring. It's just like night and day. Wow. Interesting. All right. Okay. Great one. Thank you so much. Ideas Hub 360. All right. So Ideas Hub is saying 2 things in that comment. He's saying, number 1, it's high time we begin to understand that rejection is a part of life. See, and I totally agree with him. The same way you breathe in and breathe out is the same. See, rejection is not even satanical. It's just what life is. If there's a yes, there should be a no. If there's a black, there should be a white. If there's an up, there should be a down. If there's a left, there should be a right. It's basic. Now, what becomes tragic about rejection is how you deal with it. Which even reminds me, I need to call someone after this show. I got a message of someone who's been depressed and it's been bugging me. I've just not been settled properly to make that, but I have to make that call. So it is not what happened to you, it's how you happened to what happened to you. Do you get that? Let me go a little bit personal now. I have had too many reasons to give up on life. And I know too many people watching this program have had too many reasons to give up. I have, in fact, as I'm talking to you right here, sitting here right now like this, I still have reasons to give up. Guess what? Just like Jez Hobb said, it's normal. It's a part of life. It's a part of life. I remember in 2004, two of my friends, amazing people, they're doing amazing things. If you know Toka Magbaro, the amazing award-winning cinematographer, and what's his name now? Eddie Bongo. Yes, Eddie Bongo. Eddie Bongo is also a cinematographer. I think somewhere in the East right now. I remember, I can never forget, 2004 March, in Narai, Kaduna State. I remember Eddie Bongo saying to me, Eddie said, Prolific, I wish, say, I get the kind challenges where they come your way. Okay? I said, Baba, you know anything they talk? He said, you know anything they talk? He said, I wish, say the kind challenges where they come, the magnitude of your challenges, now waiting they come my own way. I said, why you go tell that? What kind of bad prayer be that? He said, no be bad prayer. He said, because he knows himself. He has a tendency to relax when he shouldn't be relaxing. He said, but these challenges he has seen, these challenges have a way of keeping you. He has a way of keeping you going. And I'm like, okay. Now, before he said that, the week before he said that, I was sleeping on the roundabout. Leventis roundabout, precisely. Bathing in Gidawanka, Central Market. Then I should be chilling in a mansion. Then you are telling me that you wish you had my kind of. Doesn't make sense. But you see, in retrospect now, I understand what he's saying. So rejection is a part of life. It is, you need it to grow. And I said something very profound yesterday. And I said it wasn't me trying to talk down on any person. It's not me trying to demean any person. See, I'm very secure in myself. I don't get low self-esteem. I don't need to make you feel small to feel big. I'm big. I'm big, even though I like pa. I'm big, even though I like pa. Okay, so this is what I said yesterday. I said people with a phlegmatic temperament is a blessing for them to go through rejection. I'm telling you, it's a blessing. Why do I say so? Because phlegmatic people have a tendency, phlegmatic people don't like stress. They are not out there. They're not pushing. They don't want to make too many friends. They just want life easy. In trouble, they don't want trouble. Growth, okay, we'll make progress when we can make progress. But rejection, I have seen phlegmatic people turn choleric. And I'm like, what's going on here? But you see, the rejection, and please let me quickly say this. In romantic relationship, when somebody rejects you, when rejection happens, let me put it that way. When rejection happens, please, the person is not a demon. Okay? See it as a challenge, as an opportunity to become a better person. Even if you were cheated in the relationship, the truth is, in the long run, seed time and harvest will never cease as long as we're here. But let me leave it at that. Let me quickly run to Facebook. Wow, I have a few. This one will be a few. This one are plenty comments. All right. So our first timer, Paul Toloronju. Hope I got it correctly. Okay, so he says, does it mean... Okay, voila. So I skipped one. He says, I don't know why people see it as a crime to have a bestie. Okay, we're not talking about bestie today now. This Paul. I even said I'm better thing right. Don't mind me. I'm just cracking. I know Paul personally, so guys, please, all right? It's an open house. Please feel free to share your thoughts. So Paul goes on to say, does it mean that one cannot... you're still talking about bestie. Does it mean that one cannot have bestie of the opposite gender? Okay, so Paul, I get the point. We're going to have a segment for you, especially, exclusively for you, and we're going to talk about bestie. All right, we're going to treat bestie, but there's nothing. No, I can't say there's nothing wrong with bestie. It's okay to have a best friend, okay, but the bestie of these days, my brother, you get K-leg, and especially people in a relationship having really, why do you have to have a bestie and you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend? Your boyfriend should be your bestie. Why do I say so? Because in that relationship, people are building towards marriage, except you are playing around. But if you're building towards marriage, you should be able to feel free to tell your boyfriend or your girlfriend the things you are comfortable to share with him or her. So why do I have to spread my life and have 4 besties and I still have a relationship? And then it just becomes a breeding ground for unnecessary jealousy, unnecessary explaining of yourself. Your bestie calls you 1 a.m. You guys used to gist till 4 a.m. Now you're in a relationship. You can't continue that way now. Then the bestie now calls you. Your babe now wants to also call you at the same time. Then you telling your babe to hold on for the bestie. If you tell the bestie hold on, you want to talk to babe. Bestie will say, I've been here before babe came. If you say you want to talk to Baba, you just be like married 4 wives. It's not worth it for me. All right, so but we're going to read that some other time. So Paul finally has come to our topic for today. So Paul says, talking about rejection. Rejection can be a difficult and painful experience. I totally agree. It says rejection can be a very difficult and painful experience, leading to feelings of sadness, true. Anger, true. Frustration, true. Disappointment, true. Low self-esteem. See, when you tell people work on your self-esteem, it's not that easy. Some people walked into certain relationships with a healthy self-esteem. Before they left, they were verbally abused. They didn't live with patches on their eyes, but they left verbally abused. I'm saying this from a personal experience. I have experienced it. I've been in a relationship where I was battered. You see the way people fight for women that have been abused physically? I was battered. I went into that relationship hale and hearty. I came out of that relationship messed up. Totally messed up. I was so messed up that I have a very close friend living, let me not call the name of the place. I have a very, very, very close friend. And I couldn't visit this close friend for 2 years plus, if not 3 years. I couldn't travel to his city, and he was just 2 hours away from me. But I couldn't travel. This is somebody that he comes to my place, I travel to his place. His family house is my house, his house is my house, my house is his house. Did you get this guy? He's coming to my town, and he's like, guy, he doesn't even need permission. He's like, guy, I did toll gates already. I said, oh yeah, now, but I know their house though, but key this so place. Did you get? That's how we are. We're brothers. But I don't see my guy for 3 years because they break my heart. Do you get? And I'm looking okay, my skin is okay, but mentally I'm messed up. Like, I said, Paul talks about self-doubt. I started having self-doubt in myself. I'm very self-motivated. I don't necessarily, if I get people to encourage me and push me, I'm grateful. I appreciate that, but I don't wait for it. It meets me. That's my kind of person. Then suddenly, I'm just there, I'm crying, I'm sulking. And you can't see any physical scar. But the girl finished me in mouth. She finished me. She left me like dodo, plantain. He burned. When first there was fragrance, then it turned to fire. I was fragrance at first when I entered. When I was leaving, I was burnt by the fire. I'm telling you. So these things happen, all right? So yes, so Paul said low self-esteem, self-doubt. However, rejection can also be a valuable learning experience. Very true. Offering opportunities for growth, self-reflection, and self-improvement. All right? And I think, the crux of tonight should be about having a paradigm shift about rejection. Many of us are focusing on the rejection, but we're not focusing on what the rejection can make us become. You're focusing on rejection, the word rejection, and you're not seeing how it is an opportunity to become. So for instance, if my babe tells me I don't know how to dress, or not even dress. I don't know how to combine colors. So, I didn't know how to dress. I didn't know how to dress before I met you. So you said it. It's something I already know. How does that help me? So if you're not going to be actively involved in helping me to fix the thing that you think can make me a better person, I should take it upon myself because it's my life. I must take responsibility for my life and begin to know what is color psychology. How do I combine colors? And begin to, when I watch movies, I'm not just watching where man peck woman. No, I'm now watching how do they combine colors. Oh, so my shoe is supposed to match with the color of my belt. Oh, really? Do you understand? It is for you. It is for you. So it's an opportunity. Rejection is an opportunity. Even though it can be devastating, I must say, rejection can be devastating. I don't even talk about my life, Omo. It's crazy, all right? So we have Mr. Moses Samako, a.k.a. the General, a.k.a. the serial entrepreneur. Hi, Mr. Moses. How are you doing? All right? So Mr. Moses has a comment and he says, rejection is a good thing. Rejection is a good thing. Same thing I just hope has been saying. Rejection is a good thing. And he says, you lose the time wasters. Oh, you lose the time wasters quickly. I prefer a no than a stylish yes. Ah, this is sweet. This is sweet. This is sweet. Thank you so much, Mr. Mo. Thank you so much, all right? So Mr. Mo says, you lose time wasters quickly. He prefers a no than a stylish yes. You know, today I was saying earlier on to someone, I said, I don't know how we think in Africa, but man, I respect a lady that tells me she likes me. It doesn't make her less. There's a difference between a lady telling you she likes you and a lady throwing herself at you. They're not the same thing. All right? And also, flip it. I will not respect you if you tell me yes and it's not from your heart. I would respect you if you tell me no to my face. You're not rude about it. You are considering my feelings as a matter of fact for you to tell me yes. Just like, the general was saying, it helps you lose time wasters. See, you can't see these things we're saying if you don't choose to have a paradigm shift. It comes from having a paradigm shift. To know that, hey, and you see, please don't make this mistake. Don't go into relationships because your friends are cheering you. I need to say that. Don't go into relationships because your friends are cheering you concerning a particular person that they like, that they are not going to live with. So some of you are sucking up, some of you are putting up with things that you cannot live with for the rest of your life. But you are scared of rejection. In fact, the girl have told you no. It's just that when you knock, she has to open door and you will come in. You will come in, no. She will not walk you out. She will open door for you, will come in. But she will not say a word to you. In fact, she will now pick her phone and be talking to the guy that she likes, that used to beat her. You don't have plans of beating her. You genuinely love her. But Oga, just because it's genuine does not mean it must work. And you see, let me quickly say this. People don't even know when they cross the lines and become entitled. People have a right to say no. People have a right to reject you. A lady told me years ago, a lady told me, she said, Prolific, you're an amazing guy. You're a great guy, but I can tell you something. You're not that awesome. I'm like, what? She said, yeah. You're a great guy. You're an amazing guy, but you're not so awesome. You are awesome, but you're not so awesome. You see, Paul said, don't think of yourself more highly than you should. So what happens is this. When you think of yourself more highly than you should, you begin to become entitled. That you feel that I can ask just anybody out, and they should say yes to me. So when they don't say yes to me, I have a problem. And this is not just for guys. It's the same with ladies. Just because you like a guy does not mean he can't choose a girl over you. He has a right. I said it yesterday. Nobody goes into marriage mistakenly. It does not. You choose the person. Okay, you choose the person. All right. So I'm back on. Okay, we don't have a comment. Oh damn, time is gone. Time is gone. All right. So we have just one more comment on YouTube, and it's from my friend, the one grateful leper, all the way from Kenya, all the way from Kenya, all this dance I'm dancing is just because she promised me pancakes and coffee. So hi, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? The one grateful leper. How you doing? It's good to have you. Thank you for following us all the way from Kenya. I mean, you're an amazing friend. Thank you so much. All right. So I'm going to have to start drawing the curtains, and I really hope that we've been able to learn. So just towards the end, I really was, trying to emphasize something, that when you begin to think of yourself more highly than you should, then you won't be able to handle rejection. You won't be able to handle rejection when you begin to think of yourself more highly than you should. And when you begin to think of yourself more highly than you should, then entitlement mentality comes in. Then you feel that the guy's working for 31 days. That money is your money. Una don't see babes. Babes deal. Babes. Baba, babes, yeah. Babes will just sit down, just they watch Netflix. Wear bomb shots for her house, just they watch Netflix. Her guy they work. When he kill himself finish, that salary, she go even determine how much he go carry go house. Not all ladies, all right? Not all ladies. We're having amazing ladies in this generation that are really stepping up, and I love that. A lot of ladies we've interviewed. It was here we interviewed Ibrahim Ilya, the convener of Kaduna Buy and Sell, and he said, he's comfortable, but he's happy that his wife has her own money. So she's not asking money for Pepe, and when he doesn't give, they will have fights. They will not talk. No. Just some basic things you should not stress your man over. And also the man, some men are also entitled. Do you even know, of course you know, you live in Nigeria, do you even know that there are guys that will not date somebody for love, but they would wait to get a sugar mommy? And I mean, if you talk about the word, the term breadwinner, they even exist for their dictionary, because they're waiting for sugar mommy. All right. So when you begin to have an entitled mentality, we can't even talk about you being able to handle the rejection properly. It's going to be far-fetched. All right. It's going to be far-fetched. So, wow, a lot has been said tonight. Let me check YouTube for the last time if we have a comment. But it's been a very, 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 very engaging night. All right, we don't have a comment on YouTube. But it's been a very, very engaging night, really. And beyond just talking, right? Beyond just talking, I really desire that we would work with the things we're learning from these studios. I honestly, I wish you could see my heart. I honestly wish that you don't see this as just mere content, but you see that we are determined to see you become a better person. And one of the ways we can help you become a better person is painful. One of the ways is that we ourselves here have to be vulnerable, have to be so transparent that we don't just tell you our success stories, we also tell you our failures. Because one of the ways for you to become successful is to know people's failure. When you know the failure, you know the pothole rather, to avoid. If you're driving on a road, on a highway that you've never driven on, and it's night, and your headlamps are bad, you most likely will be entering potholes back to back. In fact, you can even have your headlamps on, but if it's a road you're not familiar with, you will most likely be entering terrible potholes. But if it's a road you know and you have your headlamps on, and what is the headlamp in this context? It is knowledge. Knowledge is light, and light gives you power. What is the power? The power is the confidence. Some of you are not going into committed relationships, and the reason is simple. The reason is because you don't have the light, the knowledge, the confidence. And what is the confidence? The confidence is not being macho. The confidence is not, do you know I'm a man? No, that's not the confidence. The confidence is that you don't know how to dwell with a lady with understanding. And because you know you don't know, you are scared of committing. But let me close on this note. Let me shoot myself in the leg. You know, some people will not agree, but they're in my shoes. I had a commitment fear in my life. And what was the fear? It wasn't rejection even. It was the fact that what if I commit to this one person and I now see another person that is finer than her? If you've had such thoughts, please let us know in the comment section. You were scared of committing, of engaging someone because you were scared that what if I find somebody that I like more, that I connect better with? Okay, but you see, you don't go into these things blindly. You must go into these things with light, with knowledge, which builds your confidence. And as I begin to wrap up, please remember, rejection is normal. It's part of life. But you must use it as a tool. You see, the axe can kill a person. And the same axe, you can use it to cut wood and sell firewood and make money. So is the axe good or bad? It's neither good or bad. It depends on who is handling it. It's the same thing with money. Money is neither good nor bad. It is the love of money that makes people do the wrong things. The excessive love of money that makes people do the wrong things. So relationship also is not a bad thing. Marriage is a beautiful institution. It's not a bad thing. It is a neutral institution. It is the people in it that makes it work. So if I'm also saying this for someone who is running away from relationship, and I'm sure such a person is watching right now. I'm very sure such a person is watching right now. You love love. You want to be in love. You want to love someone. You want someone to love you. But you've told yourself that you're not going to love anymore. You're not doing this love thing. And your singular reason stems from rejection. I want to tell you today that there is someone for you who has had the same fear but has told himself or herself that he or she is willing to love again. My friend Judith Johnson, who does the Love series, who worked with KTFM, I don't know where she works right now. She shared her life story with her present husband. You can check it out on Facebook, Judith Johnson. She's doing great. And she shared how she met her husband. Her husband went praying on the mountain. Real life story, there are people I know. Prayed and he heard her name clear. He didn't know her, he has never met her. He heard her name. He went on Facebook. He typed the name pops up, and he sees this picture and he's asking God, is this babe now high class babe? I no get money. I know if he maintain this babe. I just finished service. I know if he maintain this babe. She on her own part was not interested. She had decided she will never marry. It's on Facebook. Okay, it's not a hidden story. She has said she's never going to get married. In the midst of it, God tells her to start a relationship show. In fact, let me even tell you, I was one of the guests on that show. 18 or 17, I can't remember. 2018. I was one of the guests on the show. All right? But I didn't even know until she just released the video about 4 days ago. I didn't know all the while you were doing relationship talk. You are telling yourself you will never marry. And why? Rejection and men playing around. But today she's happily married. All right, so please, you have your life ahead of you. Take charge of that rejection and bring out something beautiful from your life. From the R4M studios, I want to say a very big thank you for following through on all our lives. People like Ideas Hub 360, we don't take your time for granted. All right, people like Judith Yusuf, she couldn't show up today, but we acknowledge you, we thank you. The General, my boss. It's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. Thank you. Thank you for following through. Thank you for the wisdom that you put out here for people to learn also. Thank you so much, Paul, first timer. I owe you lollipop. Okay, thank you for joining in and sharing your insights. We don't take it for granted. Thank you so much, Lucy. Thank you so much, Jerry Aboki. You guys have been so awesome. You've been so awesome. And I also get to learn from you when you share your ideas. So please keep doing that. Tomorrow we're going to be live. Now, we have an amazing event tomorrow, all right? We have an amazing event for the singles, and it's called the Love Lounge, all right? So we're not going to be live tomorrow, okay? But we're going to be live on Monday, same time, 7 p.m., same studios. God bless you. Thank you. Have a very pleasant night's rest. And please do well to use the things that you learned from this live show. I remain prolific. Thank you.